This is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with us. It's been 24 hours, and Aaron Rodgers is still a Green Bay Packer, but the anxiety of how long that will be the case, well, it's only grown since reports first popped up that the league MVP went out of Titletown.
The anxiety's getting to me, too. So now CBS Sports' John Breach is reporting Rodgers is considering retirement unless the Packers fix things to his liking. Sports director Zach Hanley is here now. How are the Packers reacting to this, Zach?
Well, it's day 2 of Rodgers' watch, and number 12 has been radio silent, but he does have 2 options to get out of Green Bay if he chooses. Get traded or retire, and the latter will cost him a lot of money. If he retires, Rodgers will owe the franchise $11.5 million for this season and $11.5 million for next season. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst, well, he's not planning for either of those outcomes.
He's our quarterback. He's our leader. We've been working through this for a little while now, and I just think it may take some time, but he's the guy that kind of makes this thing go, and I do think he'll play for us again. And we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna work towards that, and we've been working towards that on a number of different fronts. The value that he has to our football team is really immeasurable.
Gutekunst did call the report that the Packers told Rodgers they were going to trade him completely false and said they are not going to trade him. As for Rodgers, he'll be at the Kentucky Derby tomorrow, where all eyes will be on him and the horses.
All right, Zach, thank you. And the NFL draft continues tonight, 6 o'clock. Green Bay, 2 more picks. The 62nd overall, that's in the second round, and then number 95 in the third, before 7 more selections over the final 4 rounds tomorrow. The Packers chose Georgia cornerback Eric Stokes last night, pick number 29. You can tune in tonight at 10 to find out who they picked today.
Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Meteorologist Austin Kopnitsky is on the weather patio. Boy, the weekend's off to a beautiful start, Austin.
I mean, it really is. Nothing but blue skies overhead right now, at least right here in the Madison area, and it feels pretty good outside. I'm currently standing in the shade, and I'm feeling pretty good, but I did step in the sunshine earlier, and it feels about 10 degrees warmer if you're actually standing in the sun. But a gorgeous look right now at Platteville. You're taking a look at our Doppler track, and it's another day where we generally stay dry. Yesterday, we did see a few of those lighter showers move through, but we only picked up about a trace here in the Madison area. A lot of communities barely saw enough to wet the pavement, and most actually just didn't see enough to wet the pavement. So we did end up seeing just a few of those showers, but it's not nearly enough. We are still much drier than where we should be here at this time of the year. You look at our temperatures, they're also pretty mild. We're looking at those lower 60s, 61 degrees right now in the Madison area, and our wind speeds aren't really too bad. By the time we reach tomorrow, we are going to see quite a few changes, and the wind speeds are actually going to be one of those driving factors in why we're going to warm things up so much here a little bit later on. A few things that you need to know: warm conditions will stick around, especially for tomorrow. It's going to get pretty windy again, but that's going to crank up the temperatures up to the lower 80s. Some thunderstorms are also possible, especially for Sunday night and into Monday, and the 60s will return for next week. So if you like what we have outside right now, next week there are going to be a lot of days that do end up remaining in the 60s.
All right, Austin, thank you. And the message has been clear. It really doesn't matter which vaccine you get. Just get one of them.
But we're finding tonight some may last longer than others. Amanda Quintana talked to an expert at UW Health about when booster shots could be necessary. Amanda?
Yes, we've heard from many doctors leading this vaccination effort, and they've said that we will probably need boosters. But what we're still trying to figure out is when.
In a normal, non-pandemic situation, we'd probably have those answers before the vaccines were rolled out. But we're not in that situation, and we needed to get people vaccinated quickly.
So far, Pfizer and Moderna have released data on their trial participants 6 months out from their shots,
both showing that they were still 90% or better effective.
Sometime after those 6 months, a person's immunity to the virus will drop off. It could be a year after, maybe 3, but enough time hasn't passed to actually know. Johnson & Johnson is a different type of vaccine.
With these adenovirus vaccines, it's possible that the efficacy of the vaccine actually increases as time goes on.
If you got J&J, studies show your immunity to the virus actually gets better, more effective at 3 months out than it was 1 month after your shot. So a booster might be needed later than it would be for those who got Pfizer and Moderna.
I do anticipate all of these vaccines kind of having different points where they hit that peak and then you see a drop in the immunity. At some point, is it all going to be one vaccine and, everyone kind of can be on the same time card?
And the issue that threatens to slow this whole process down and require boosters even sooner, variants.
If, say, the South African variant came in or a California variant came in, we may need to relook at the boosters in terms of, do we need to make a booster against that variant?
Dr. Hartman says that some think that it actually could last up to 3 years, but of course it hasn't been 3 years for us to be able to actually test that. We're also waiting to see if you got the Pfizer vaccine. Do you also need to get the Pfizer booster?
Amanda Quintana reporting live tonight. Amanda, thanks.
More teenagers in Dane County are starting to get their vaccines. Public Health says more than half of every eligible age group, including 16 and 17-year-olds, have received at least one shot, and Dane County is the first in the state to reach that milestone.
The 7-day average of vaccinations in Wisconsin continues to drop. It's now at its lowest level since late February at about 37,000 doses per day. 39,000 shots went into arms around the state yesterday. DHS is reporting 789 new cases of the virus and 8 more people have died. More than 1/3 of Wisconsin is now fully protected against COVID-19. We're only about 35,000 people away from reaching 2 million fully vaccinated people.
The U.S. has reached another milestone in its race to get shots into arms. The White House says 100 million people have now been fully vaccinated, nearly 40% of all adult Americans.
That's 100 million Americans with a sense of relief and peace of mind, knowing that after a long and hard year, they're protected from the virus, knowing their decision to get vaccinated protects not just themselves, but also protects their families, their friends, and their communities.
Biden administration officials say the number of Americans who have received a vaccine is actually higher than 100 million, but some people either didn't get their second dose or haven't had 2 weeks pass since that first shot. A 3-hour drive twice a week to work at 2 hospitals.
That is an average week right now for a group of Madison nurses treating COVID patients in Peoria, Illinois. The respiratory therapists from Unity Point Health Meriter are temporarily working at Unity Point Health hospitals in Peoria. That city is experiencing its highest number of COVID hospitalizations since the start of the pandemic. One of the nurses lending a hand says it's been challenging and physically demanding.
I have a couple patients in Peoria who have said, I had the option to get vaccinated and I turned it down and I highly regret it. Now that they're sick, they're like, what can I do to get better? Unfortunately, there's not much you can do. It just kind of has to run its course.
The team is about halfway through its 4-week stay in central Illinois. Meriter also sent ventilators to the Peoria region to help with its COVID response.
Beginning next Tuesday, the Biden administration will restrict U.S. travel from India. It's in response to that country's record surge of new COVID-19 cases and variants. The order will restrict entry into the U.S. for foreign nationals who've been in India within the past 14 days. The White House says airlines have been told about these restrictions. India has had at least 300,000 cases of the virus for each of the past 9 days. New at 5 next week, Wisconsin Republicans will block Governor Evers' proposals to legalize medical and recreational marijuana. The GOP-controlled legislature will also kill Governor Evers' budget proposals expanding Medicaid and granting collective bargaining rights to some public workers. The Joint Finance Committee will vote next Thursday on the cuts and then work on rebuilding the plan from scratch.
About 20 states keep a database on how many times officers use deadly or severe force with the public. Wisconsin's progress on reporting it has been slow, as investigative reporter Naomi Coles joins us to explain. Naomi?
The state used federal funding just over a year ago now to start that collection. And at the time, only a few agencies actually opted in. I got their use of force data, which is supposed to track every time police kill, hurt, or shoot at a person. 22 agencies reported 28 incidents last year, but the list is far from complete, most notably missing Jacob Blake's shooting. The DOJ says that's because they're still working to get agencies in compliance with the new standard. In total, there's 9 force-related and 4 arrest-related deaths here last year, but an independent tracker finds 19 police deaths in Wisconsin in 2020. But there's a lot of types of force that aren't even included in that metric that a new task force recommendation wants the state to start collecting, but for that, they would need a lot more money.
Naomi, thank you.
Next tonight, Derek Chauvin and 3 former officers will soon be facing federal civil rights violations. Based on local reports, the DOJ intends to prosecute all 4 officers in connection with the death of George Floyd. Chauvin, scheduled to be sentenced in June after he was convicted of murdering Floyd. He may face additional civil rights violations for the violent arrest of a 14-year-old back in 2017 when he held the teen down for 17 minutes. Restaurants can open at 75% capacity next week, but that could actually be a problem for some places around here. We'll hear why up next.
And then tonight on News 3 Now at 6, parts of southern Wisconsin are seeing a moderate drought. Austin Kopnitsky shows us what this could mean for farmers at 6.
And the 3 major indices all down to close the week on Wall Street. The Dow dropped 185.5. The NASDAQ lost 120. And the S&P off 30, but still had its best monthly gain since November. We'll be right back.
On CBS, it's a full night of action and drama, starting with MacGyver at 7. Then it's Magnum P.I. at 8, followed by Blue Bloods at 9. Then get a complete wrap-up of the day's news on News 3 Now at 10.
Aw, they're making sure I still love my glasses. Of course I do. They made them so fast, I blinked and they were ready. I can't wait to see the look on everyone's faces when they taste my homemade cake.
2 pairs starting under $40, only at iMart Express.
When you're the victim of an accident, it can feel like the weight of the entire world is on your shoulders. Why not let us take that crippling burden off your back? Havish, and Rotier. We fight for what's right.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-5837. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. Find out how easy it is by calling now. For the secret the credit card companies don't want you to know, call Credit Associates now and see how much money you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-5837.
Enjoy more space with a new Champion sunroom, custom built to fit your lifestyle.
The sunroom has now become our family room, and we live in our sunroom.
We help you choose the best design options for your home. Manufacture our products right here in the USA. And our install team manages your project every step of the way, all backed by our Champion Guarantee. Right now, save 30% on your new sunroom. Call now or visit championsunrooms.com to see which sunroom is right for you.
We all love reading the magazine, but did you know there's additional exclusive Madison Magazine content here on channel3000.com? Click on Madison Magazine for timely food stories and blogs on the local food scene that don't appear in the magazine. Find arts and entertainment and interesting Madisonians. There are featured columnists and online extras like photo galleries and videos. Channel 3000 and Madison Magazine. Together, they're your one source for all things Madison.
Tonight at 6, reports say Aaron Rodgers' future in Green Bay is still in question, but the Packers general manager says differently. And parts of southern Wisconsin are seeing a moderate drought, what it could mean for farmers this spring. That's ahead on News 3 Now at 6.
Wake up every morning with Chris Reese and his Plan Your Day forecast, designed to help you plan your day before you walk out the door. Plan Your Day with Chris, weekday mornings starting at 4:30 a.m. only on News 3 Now this morning. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. Public transit gets the spotlight today as President Biden hits the road to sell his American Jobs plan. The president is also celebrating the 50th anniversary of Amtrak, a service that he used daily for more than 3 decades as a U.S. Senator from Delaware.
So it has been part of my life. I've been riding an Amtrak for almost as long as there's been an Amtrak. I've come to see that Amtrak doesn't just carry us from one place to another. It opens up enormous possibilities.
Other administration officials also focused on infrastructure as they fanned out across the country today. Vice President Kamala Harris went to Cincinnati, while the second gentleman and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg met with union workers and visited a train station in North Carolina. President Biden's jobs plan is worth an estimated $2 trillion. Restaurants are preparing to open up to 75% capacity next week. That is if they can handle it. Jamie Perez highlights the struggles that they need to overcome now and what they're asking you to do in the meantime.
Well, it may be exciting news to hear that restaurants are opening up at greater and greater capacities, but that doesn't come without its own set of challenges. Public Health says restaurants can open at 75% capacity starting next Wednesday, but they still need to be able to maintain 6 feet social distancing. For many restaurants, that means they'll still only be able to operate at 25 to 50%.
First of all, I don't know any restaurant that's opening to 75% with the existing 6-foot social distancing rules in place. We have been unable to expand our occupancy even from the 25% mandate from months ago.
On top of that, restaurants are still finding it difficult to hire enough staff to handle the capacity limits that they're currently at. Coming up tonight at 6, what's being done to help them navigate these challenges over the next few weeks and how you can be the most helpful customer possible as they go through this.
Jamie, thank you. And as the temperatures warm up, the DNR opening some of its more popular areas. Starting today, observation towers and playgrounds around the state are now open. DNR volunteer group sizes can also increase up to 50 people, while capacity for open-air shelters, amphitheaters, outdoor group campgrounds can have up to 100 people now. And standalone concession facilities will also reopen to the public. Now, if you are spending time outside this weekend, you need to watch out for an increased fire risk. DNR says most fire danger is high across most of the state this weekend. And based on the forecast, DNR says it'll likely restrict or cancel any burn permits throughout our viewing area for tomorrow. Now, if you are fishing this weekend, they also say be careful with any off-road vehicles or equipment that can spark and start a fire.
Let's get a look at your certified most accurate weather for the weekend forecast. Meteorologist Austin Kopnitsky is here. Austin?
You know, that's just a perfect example of having too much of a good thing, and that's the dry weather. We've seen just too many dry days and just a few rain chances here and there. Yesterday, a perfect example. Most of the day staying dry, just 1 or 2 of those passing showers. Right now, not going to see a chance of a shower. In fact, we're going to see a lot of blue skies here for most of the rest of the day. A little bit of some cloud cover could sneak through here and there, but our temperature change very similar to yesterday. Just not seeing much of a difference. It's just about 2 degrees off in Madison from where we were yesterday. Some areas are a little bit cooler, especially just off to our east and southeast. Janesville's actually about 10 degrees chillier than yesterday. Still 63 degrees. Yesterday, they did bump right back up to the 70s, but it does look like we're looking pretty good to go. Feels decently comfortable outside overall. We are going to cool things right back down. The 6 to 10 day temperature outlook does show some blue, so we do have some of those cooler days in the forecast, but it does also look like our average high temperature continues to rise. Now, overall, our rain chances, this is what we need. We need some of these rain chances right now just because of how dry it's really been. So you take a look, Sunday, 50% chance. Hopefully we could bump that up here by the time you reach Sunday. Another 40% chance there on Monday. Afterwards, we have a few more rain chances towards the end of this next week. And then some of those bump up here as well towards the end of this forecast. Now, we need this green. Notice how we have a good chance to see above average precipitation in the Madison area. That's exactly what we need right now because we've been so dry. A lot of dust, a lot of pollen still out there, and today's just not going to help things out with a lot of blue skies overhead. Just nothing happening on our Doppler track. But as you can see here, that's the case for most of our state, actually. We are bringing in some cloud cover, especially for tomorrow, and we could see some shower chances moving through, especially by the time we reach Sunday. Now, our wind speeds aren't bad, but we are going to see some big changes with these wind speeds by the time we reach tomorrow. Bumping up to around 15 to 25 miles per hour. We could even see some gusts upwards of about 40 at times. That actually has prompted a wind advisory for just some of southeastern Wisconsin right now, but that does include the Janesville area as well. So we are watching out for that. But high winds, dry atmosphere, the perfect combination here for fire weather. So this is why we need to be extremely careful, especially for tomorrow, because it is going to be dry. It is going to be windy. Notice how those winds shift from the south and southwest. That's going to crank up these temperatures starting tomorrow morning in the 40s. And we're going to see in the afternoon some 80s returning. So really cranking up the heat. But then watch what happens on Sunday, especially later on in the day. We're going to start to see some showers developing up north. They're eventually going to come crashing down through our area, especially in the overnight hours, Sunday night and into Monday. And then afterwards, we still have just a few more chances here and there for some shower activity. But your weekend forecast looking pretty good overall. 82 degrees for the high temperature on Saturday. By the time we reach Sunday, we're looking at about 76. Some sunshine early with a chance of an afternoon storm and some showers here and there as well. But it does look like here we're looking decent overall with our 10-day forecast. These rain chances again. We're going to need these rain chances to actually move through our area. And then just one more quick peek here at our current traffic. Looking pretty good. Not currently seeing any reports of any accidents, but we do have just a little bit of a slowdown here in the southern part of town.
Austin, thank you. Arbor Day, more than just about planting trees. Next at 5, how one Madison College instructor is encouraging his students to see trees from a different point of view.
Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today. Announcing another Best of Madison 2021 finalist. And the nominee is Fry Construction. Best Kitchen and Bath Design, Best Roofer. Vote for Fry Construction today at madisonmagazine.com.
When it comes to your financial health, just a few small steps can make a real difference.
Learn, save, and spend with guidance from Chase. Confidence feels good. Chase, make more of what's yours.
I was watching my team come from behind when my son says, "Dad, I'm taking a girl to the dance." And I was like, "You can borrow my car, just make sure your shoes are shined and the car is clean." And then I was like, "Hold on, go to Quick Trip and get the Elite Wash." On the day of the dance, my son washed my car and shined his shoes. But he did something on his own accord. My son goes, "Do you think she would like this?" And the Quick Trip lady is like, "You betcha." Kid's got a bright future.
Quick Trip, we got you covered. The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Isn't it great how swinging through Culver's drive-thru marks the unofficial start to family time? How biting into a hot-off-the-grill Butterburger makes worries melt away? And how a fresh frozen custard concrete mixer puts a smile on your face every time? Here, a meal you didn't have to make is a meal made fresh for you. And being greeted with a smile, even beneath a mask, makes all the difference.
There's a reason we put so much care into our food. That reason is you. Welcome to Delicious.
Chevy is America's fastest growing full-line brand. That's why people are taking it everywhere. Taking SUVs like Trailblazer outdoors, confidently taking on new places with Equinox, and taking on more with the most capable Silverado ever. No matter what you do, there's a Chevy that's perfect to take you anywhere. Find your perfect Chevy and get a $4,400 cash allowance on all 2021 Silverado Crew Cab pickups. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
Announcing another Best of Madison 2021 finalist. And the nominee is Fry Construction. Best Kitchen and Bath Design, Best Roofer. Vote for Fry Construction today at madisonmagazine.com.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
The First Family is celebrating Arbor Day today. First Lady Jill Biden planted a tree on the north lawn of the White House. She planted a linden tree to replace another one that was at risk of decay. The First Lady also joked that everyone plants trees in high heels.
Yeah, it's a good look, isn't it? I'm not sure how much work she actually did. That's probably the extent of it.
Students at Madison College are also getting in the spirit of Arbor Day today, but they're not just planting trees.
As photojournalist Brian Mesmer shows us, these students are getting the chance to work 50 feet up in the air. They're going to prove to us that she really planted this tree, aren't they? They're getting a chance to work 50 feet up in the air, right up in the branches.
Today we're working on our tree climbing techniques. Put your left foot on that same branch. The students today are learning how to use a single rope technique. Nice. There you go, Joe. Yeah, the old leg hook. The program here is kind of covers all elements of arboriculture or urban forestry. Pruning, removals, planting. There's a tree healthcare component to it. And there's maintenance and things that kind of go into just taking care of the equipment and just getting a familiarity with like all the tools and things that you need in the industry. So you just have to figure out how you can get yourself in a comfortable spot.
This is my second semester, and we're just getting some reps in. Something like this, it's all about repetition, practice, and just starting low and slow and just being safe in the trees, and this is just practice day.
Switch the position of your lanyard.
It's very physical, and it's learning to trust your system. It could be nerve-wracking the first time you're 60 feet up a cottonwood, and you look up, and the only thing keeping you from the ground is this little thin rope. So it's an adrenaline rush.
So whether you lift it over your shoulder or pull a bunch of slack through, get it out of your way.
Without trees, we wouldn't be here, right? And that's the goal of this program, is to just kind of teach people the proper way to do things like this.
Whoa, nice job. With Arbor Day, I think people got to recognize their urban forests. They need to see it as like it's an asset. There's so many things that trees do, whether they're cleaning the air or cleaning the water, providing shade, and just, beautifying our cities and taking care of that. I think it's really, really important. They provide not only a more aesthetically beautiful environment for us, but they provide a lot of habitat for homes, for insects. It's kind of like that tree of life metaphor really kind of carries.
Brian Mesmer's work there. Sunland says classes like his will prepare students for green jobs in the workforce and help fight climate change. Final check of your first warn forecast in just a moment. Stay with us.
Prices of the season sale at Ashley Home Store is here. Our hottest new looks are all on sale. Spring doorbusters are up to 60% off. Plus, take a bonus 10% off our furniture sale prices at checkout. And no interest financing for 3 years. Ashley Home Store.
Menards has everything you need for your painting and staining projects. We have the best brands, best quality, and best prices, period. On paints and stains from Dutch Boy and Cabot. Choose your colors with confidence. We offer free custom color matching and tinting to create thousands of color options. Dutch Boy DuraClean exterior flat paint is $27.49 a gallon after 11% rebate. Plus, save 11% on all Cabot exterior wood stains and finishes.
Save big money at Menards.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
When an inland hurricane called the Derecho cut a path through the Midwest, we learned some lessons. We learned that most buildings cannot withstand 140-mile-per-hour winds, not to mention most oak trees. We learned that when your roof is gone or there's a tree in your living room, even 8 hours is too long to wait. But most of all, we learned that in hardship, people take care of each other. And that has been our silver lining.
I want to have $1 million when I retire.
Oh, great goal.
So where do I start?
Well, first you set up automatic transfers into savings. That can add up pretty quickly.
For me, working on putting $1,000 into an emergency fund got me in a good saving habit.
Already on it.
Then put together a plan to get rid of debt and maximize your investments. Summit helped me do.
Oh, that's great. I love how Summit gives people the knowledge and confidence to go after their goals.
It's your money. Own it. Summit Credit Union.
Here in the Midwest, community is important.
Having a healthcare system that's looking out for us,
that's actively addressing the racial disparities in healthcare is important.
When we can get good quality care, we can do more. We can achieve more.
We can be the kind of community we want to be, and that's really important.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Now in Introducing Purple Mattresses at Ashley Home Store. The only mattress with a purple grid that supports all sleep positions and keeps you cool. Now less than $20 a month for a queen, interest-free for 5 years. Plus get free sheets and up to 2 free pillows. Try it out today at Ashley Home Store.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, Biden's new travel ban. The White House halts all travel from India as the country's crematoriums overflow with victims. Plus the breaking news from Texas, what we're learning tonight about an uncovered human smuggling operation. And we go on the road, how fate brought this young girl and man's best friend together. You won't want to miss this one. That's all tonight here on the CBS Evening News.
And before we leave you at 5, a final check on the weather with Austin.
And you know, we are looking at a pretty nice night tonight. It will get a little bit chilly here at times, dropping down to 44 degrees with partly cloudy skies. But then tomorrow, we really see those changes to the forecast. A strong southerly breeze from the southwest at around 15 to 25 miles per hour. We could even see some gusts upwards of 40 miles per hour at times. Very warm, but very windy. That high temperature of 82 degrees. It's going to feel nice outside for some of those warm weather lovers. But then for Sunday, it does cool down a little bit, a high of 76. Some sunshine early, then some afternoon cloud cover and a potential for showers and storms. I think we have a better chance late in the day, especially in the nighttime hours, Sunday night and into Monday. And then we're going to see that cool down afterwards. The 60s return.
Austin, thank you. We're back in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. Stay tuned now to the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.